Imagine walking through your local coin store, or even just digging through your old coin jar, and finding a single penny that could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, this could be your reality if you have the right 1969 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny in your possession. Stay tuned, because this could be the key to unlocking an unexpected fortune. You're probably thinking, how is a penny worth that much? Well, the 1969 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is a rare, highly sought-after coin in the world of numismatics. What makes this particular penny so valuable? It's all about a unique mistake made during its production, a mistake that could lead to a small fortune for those lucky enough to own one. Before we dive deep into the details of how much this penny could be worth, let me ask you something. Do you have any pennies lying around in your drawer, maybe from old change, or even tucked away from your childhood? Because if you do, you could be holding a goldmine in your hands. Let's set the scene. We all know that pennies are pretty much forgotten in the modern world. With inflation, people toss them aside, not giving them a second thought. But what if I told you that some pennies, like the 1969 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny, are the complete opposite of ordinary? They could make you rich, if you know what you're looking for. And the crazy part? You might not even need to leave your house to cash in on this hidden treasure. Now, let's talk specifics. The 1969 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny is unique because of a rare error, an error that occurred during the minting process. In 1969, some pennies were struck with what's called a double die, meaning the design of Abraham Lincoln's image and other elements of the coin were stamped twice, creating a visible duplication effect. This is a serious flaw that can make the coin worth an astonishing amount of money. You're probably wondering, how can I spot this error on my penny? Well, here's the key: look for doubling on the date, the word liberty, and the motto, "In God We Trust." If you notice these areas looking a bit more prominent, more defined, or doubled, then you might have found one of the rarest pennies in existence. But don't get too excited just yet. While these pennies are rare, they aren't the only ones out there. Many people confuse the 1969 D Mint Mark penny with other similar-looking coins. That's why it's crucial to check for this error closely, because the difference between a few dollars and $990,000 is in the details. Here's the cliffhanger: how do you even get your hands on one of these? Is it as simple as scouring your old change jar, or do you need some extra luck on your side? So, now that you know what makes this coin so valuable, let's talk about the money. A 1969 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny with the double die error can sell for anywhere from $100 all the way up to a jaw-dropping $990,000 depending on its condition and rarity. If you've got one in excellent condition, you might be sitting on a fortune. Here's the part where you need to listen closely, because this is where things get really exciting. If you think you have one of these pennies, now is the time to act. The market for rare coins is constantly fluctuating. If you wait too long, someone else might find your coin and make the big sale. This isn't just about finding rare coins, it's about being ready to make the right move at the right time. If you're sitting there thinking, okay, I've got one of these pennies, what's next? Well, it's time to get it evaluated by a professional, someone who can verify its authenticity and determine its true market value. And remember, do not just sell it to the first person who offers you money. You want to make sure you get top dollar. Here's a question for you: do you want to live comfortably and start turning those old coins into serious wealth? Or do you want to keep passing up the chance for financial freedom? The choice is yours, but the clock is ticking. Before we wrap up, think about this. What if you could sell that rare penny and use the money to pay off debts, travel the world, or finally live the lifestyle you've always dreamed of? This isn't just about a coin. This is about the opportunity for change, the chance to take control of your financial future. So, what are you waiting for? If you've got a 1969 D Mint Mark Lincoln penny with that double die error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And remember, this isn't just a story of luck. This is a story of taking action, of turning a rare coin into a rare opportunity. Don't miss out on this chance. Check your pennies now, because the next big windfall could be hiding in plain sight. A single coin worth almost $1 million. Sounds impossible, right? Well, it's not. Stick with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know if you have one of these rare 1971 no mint mark Lincoln pennies, and if it's worth up to $988,000. Yes, you heard that right, $988,000. Hold on to your seats, because I'm going to reveal exactly how you could turn a seemingly ordinary penny into a small fortune. But first, let's dive into what makes this coin so valuable. Here's the thing, you probably think you've seen every type of penny out there. But what if I told you that a penny from 1971 with no mint mark could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even more in some cases? It's one of those rare finds that can slip right past you if you aren't paying close attention. So, what's the deal with this penny? Well, in 1971, the US Mint made a huge mistake. A very small batch of pennies was produced without a mint mark. Normally, pennies made at the Philadelphia Mint would have a P stamped on them, but not these. But here's the kicker, only a few of these pennies were released into circulation. Most were discarded, leaving only a rare few left in the wild. It's the rarest of the rare, and that's why this 1971 no mint mark penny could be sitting right in your pocket right now, hiding in plain sight, worth up to $988,000. So, what should you do if you find one of these rare coins? Let me tell you right now, you need to act fast. Don't let it sit there collecting dust. Because let's face it, you wouldn't let a lottery ticket with a jackpot sit in your wallet, would you? No. So why let a penny with near $1 million potential just hang out with your pocket lint? Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, sounds like a great coin, but how do I even know if my penny is one of those rare 1971 no mint marks? Well, I'll tell you in just a second, but before we get into that, let's take a quick look at what the current market says about these pennies. Because the value might shock you. Now, to identify if you have a 1971 no mint mark penny, you need to examine the coin closely. Here's a pro tip, take your penny and check the date. Then, carefully inspect the space below the date. Normally, you would see a D or a S for Denver or San Francisco, but on this rare 1971 coin, nothing. No mint mark at all. So, how do you know if it's worth a fortune? First, condition matters. A penny in near mint condition could fetch nearly $100,000 or more. But if yours is in pristine condition, maybe it's been tucked away in a safe place for decades, it could easily fetch over $988,000, maybe even more at an auction. That I don't want to sugarcoat it, not every 1971 penny without a mint mark is going to be worth that kind of money. But the reality is, if you're sitting on a pristine example, you could be holding on to the most valuable penny in your collection. But wait, before you get too excited, not every 1971 penny without a mint mark is worth this much. There's one thing that could drastically increase the value of your penny, and I'm about to tell you what it is, so don't go anywhere. Now that you know how to identify this coin, it's time to talk about selling it. If you do have a rare 1971 no mint mark penny, you want to make sure you're getting the best price possible. That means getting it professionally graded and making sure you're working with the right buyers, but here's the big secret. There are auction houses and collectors out there looking for coins just like yours. Some of them are willing to pay top dollar, but others might not even know the true value of your penny. That's why you need to be strategic when selling. It's your opportunity to not just sell a coin, but to live the life you've always dreamed of, a life full of financial freedom, excitement, and wealth. Imagine paying off your mortgage, traveling the world, or living that life of luxury you've been working toward, all thanks to a simple penny. This is the moment to act. It could be sitting in your drawer, under your couch cushions, or even in your coin jar, but you have to act now. Time is of the essence. The longer you wait, the more chances you lose to make a life-changing sale. So, take a moment to check your coins, because that 1971 no mint mark penny just might be the key to unlocking your wealth. Imagine you're scrolling through your coin collection, maybe in your basement or attic, just casually checking some pennies, when suddenly, bam, you stumble upon something that could be worth as much as $980,000. yes, I'm talking about the 1984 Lincoln penny without a mint mark. But how can one small penny possibly be worth a fortune? Let me take you on a journey that could change your financial future forever. Now, hold on tight, because I'm about to reveal the hidden secrets behind this rare penny and why you might be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. It's not just another coin from the 80s. It's an enigma that has baffled collectors for years. Why? Because, as you might know, US coins are generally stamped with a mint mark, showing where they were made. But what happens when a coin doesn't have that mint mark? It becomes a mystery. A very valuable mystery. Here's where the story gets wild. The 1984 penny without a mint mark was never officially produced by the US Mint. At least, that's what everyone thought, until a few of these error coins popped up in circulation. These phantom pennies were likely made by mistake at the Philadelphia Mint, and with no mint mark to confirm it, they were dismissed at first. But here's the kicker, the value of these pennies can soar into the hundreds of thousands. Yes, you heard me correctly, up to $980,000. But don't think that every 1984 penny is going to make you rich. There's a catch, and it's one that could determine whether you're holding a rare treasure or just a regular penny. Let me ask you something. Do you want to know exactly how to spot a real 1984 no mint mark penny that could make you a millionaire? Well, stick with me, because you're about to uncover some insider secrets that most people don't know. Okay, quick question, would you still keep the penny if it wasn't worth a dime? Chuckles, let's get back to the serious stuff. You're going to need to focus now. This is where the magic happens. Alright, let's dive into what makes this coin so valuable. First, let's talk about how to spot it. Look at your 1984 pennies carefully. If it's missing the mint mark and you see no evidence of a stamp, that's step 1. But the real value comes from the condition of the coin itself. Coins in mint condition, we're talking about coins with sharp details, minimal wear, and no signs of damage, are the ones worth the most. If your 1984 penny looks like it was just pulled from the mint, you might have a small fortune in your hands. But wait, there's more. Not all 1984 pennies with no mint mark are the same. Some are worth more than others, and there's an elusive perfect condition that could make it a showstopper at auction. To get top dollar, your penny will likely need to have that uncirculated quality. This means it's never been in anyone's wallet, it's never been tossed into the change jar, and it's definitely not been handled by thousands of people. Now, here's the real question. How do you prove the authenticity of your penny to potential buyers? Because trust me, if you don't, you could lose out on a small fortune. The most important thing you can do is get your coin certified by a professional grading service. Grading services like PCGS or NGC can help authenticate your coin, giving it a seal of approval and ensuring you can sell it for top dollar. But be warned, not every 1984 penny without a mint mark is worth a fortune. So, how do you know if it's the real deal? The next steps could be the difference between holding onto a coin worth a few cents and a coin that could set you up for life, and here's where things get even more exciting. There are only a limited number of these rare pennies in circulation. That means time is ticking. If you don't act now, you could miss out on the chance to cash in on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. These pennies don't just grow on trees. Stick with me, because in the final moments of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to sell your rare 1984 penny for maximum profit, and how you can turn this discovery into a bigger payday than you ever imagined. So don't go anywhere. The most crucial part of this coin hunt is just around the corner. I'm about to reveal the exact steps to selling your 1984 no mint mark penny for top dollar, and how you can live the wealthy lifestyle you've been dreaming of. Are you ready to change your financial future forever? In the end, it's not just about the coin, it's about you taking action, spotting the rare treasures that others overlook, and turning them into something that could change your life. If you want to live that wealthier lifestyle, it's time to take control of your future. You're holding a coin in your hand. A simple, ordinary penny. But wait, what if I told you that very penny could be worth nearly $1 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, in today's video, we're going to uncover the truth about the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny, and trust me, by the end, you'll be scouring your coin jar to see if you've struck gold. Before we dive into the specifics, let's set the stage with a story about a man who had no idea he was sitting on a small fortune. Now, you might be thinking, a 1987 penny. Really? How valuable could that possibly be? That's exactly what I thought when I first heard about it. But here's the thing, there's a special version of the 1987 Lincoln penny, and if you find it, it could make you richer than you ever imagined. The 1987 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is one of the rarest coins out there, and it's worth up to $976,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single penny, worth nearly $1 million. But why is it so valuable? It all comes down to something simple, a minting error. You see, most pennies from 1987 were minted in Philadelphia and have a P mint mark. But a small batch, very few in number, were mistakenly minted without any mint mark. This small error makes the 1987 no mint mark penny incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. And just to clarify, if you've been flipping pennies into fountains for luck, you might want to reconsider. There's serious money here if you know what you're looking for. But before you go running to your coin jar, let's talk about how to actually identify this rare penny. So, you're now wondering, how can you tell if your penny is worth a fortune? Good question. Here's the thing, it's not easy to find, but it's not impossible either. First, you need to look closely at the penny itself. The standard 1987 penny will have a P on it, right beneath the date. But the rare one? It has absolutely no mint mark at all. You'll find this error on coins that were minted in Philadelphia during 1987. But here's the catch, just because there's no mint mark doesn't automatically mean it's worth a fortune. In fact, there are only a handful of these no mint mark pennies that have actually sold for close to $1 million. The condition of the penny is absolutely crucial. The higher the grade of the coin, meaning how well preserved it is, the higher the value. A penny in perfect, uncirculated condition could potentially fetch upwards of $976,000 at auction. But a worn-out one might only be worth a couple hundred. Still, that's nothing to sneeze at, right? Okay, but here's the question, where do you actually sell something like that? And how can you be sure it's the real deal? Let's talk about how to get your hands on the cash if you've got one of these rare pennies. Trust me, the next step could be life-changing for you. Now that you've identified your rare penny, it's time to cash in. But before you do, here's something most people don't realize, not all buyers are the same. You've got to be smart about who you sell to, and how you sell. You can try auction sites like eBay, or better yet, reach out to professional coin dealers who specialize in rare, high-value coins. These experts will know how to price your coin correctly and get you the best possible deal, but here's a big warning, there are scammers out there who will try to take advantage of you. Always make sure the buyer has a good reputation and knows the true value of what you're holding. So, what's the bottom line? If you've got a 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny in good condition, you're sitting on a potential fortune. It could change your life. Imagine being able to pay off your mortgage, take that dream vacation, or even retire early. That's the kind of wealth we're talking about here. But, and this is important, before you sell your coin, there are some last-minute checks you need to make to ensure you're getting the full value, and I'm about to share those crucial steps with you. So don't go anywhere. Before you run off to check your coins, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Because in the next video, I'll reveal the exact steps you should take to maximize your coin's worth and avoid common mistakes people make when selling. Believe me, you don't want to miss this. Check your pennies now, because if you're sitting on a 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny, it could be the key to your next big financial breakthrough. Don't wait, time is money, and that penny could slip through your fingers if you don't act fast. See you in the next video. When suddenly, one catches your eye. It's a 2020 Lincoln penny, and what if I told you that penny could be worth up to $973,000? Would you believe me? Hold that thought, because by the end of this video, you might just start looking at your spare change a little differently. The discovery. Let's start with a question. How many of you have a jar or a drawer full of pennies just sitting there, doing absolutely nothing? Thousands of pennies, most of them worth just 1 cent. It's easy to overlook, right? But what if I told you that in the midst of all that change, there could be a hidden treasure worth thousands, even millions? This isn't some far-fetched fairy tale, it's real. The 2020 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that, if you're lucky enough to find it in mint condition, could change your financial future. You're probably wondering, what makes this penny so special? And that's exactly what we're going to dive into right now. This coin isn't just your average penny, it's part of a unique series, and if you understand what to look for, you could be holding a small fortune. But here's where the story gets interesting. Not every 2020 penny is worth thousands, but some are. The difference comes down to a few simple yet critical factors. The secret ingredient: the first thing you need to know is that these coins weren't made in a typical way. The 2020 mint mark means it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the most famous U.S. mint facilities. But the magic happens when you know the errors to watch out for. That's right. It's all about minting errors, small details that make certain coins worth significantly more than others. And here's the kicker: the most valuable 2020 Lincoln pennies are those with rare defects or mistakes that slipped through the cracks. Some are so rare that their value skyrockets to almost $1 million. Think about it: how many times have you accidentally left a coin on the floor, or tossed it into the jar without a second thought? What if that penny was one of the rare ones? So what's the big mistake to watch for? Well, you'll need to be on the lookout for things like double die errors, where the design is stamped twice on the coin. This creates a noticeable shift in the appearance of the Lincoln portrait or the lettering, making the coin stand out like a sore thumb. And while double dies aren't common, they're not impossible to find. Now, imagine you find one of these coins. It could be worth up to $973,000, depending on its condition. But here's the thing: most people have no idea what they have. So the question is, how many of you have been leaving money on the table by not paying close enough attention to your coins? Now, before you start rushing off to search through all your pennies, remember, most of us have probably heard this story before, right? Oh, I found a rare coin, it's worth a fortune. Then we check, and it's just a regular penny. But what if, just what if, this time it's real? Stay with me, the truth revealed. Here's the cliffhanger you've been waiting for. If you happen to have a 2020 penny in pristine condition, with no wear or signs of damage, and it has one of these rare minting errors, then you could be looking at a serious payday. The market for rare coins like this one is incredibly hot right now. Collectors, investors, and coin dealers are on the lookout for these exact pennies, and they're willing to pay top dollar to add them to their collections, but time is of the essence. The longer you wait to check your coins, the less likely it is that you'll be able to cash in on this opportunity. Demand for these rare finds is growing, and with each passing day, more collectors are out there hunting for the exact coin you might have sitting at the bottom of your jar. What should you do next? Here's the deal: start by carefully inspecting your 2020 pennies. If you find any that look slightly off, or if you see something that might indicate a minting error, get them appraised. Don't wait, because in the world of rare coins, opportunities like this are fleeting. Here's the twist: even if you don't find the $973,000 penny today, the market is full of hidden treasures, other pennies and coins that might be worth more than you think. You might be sitting on a small fortune, and it's time to uncover it. So, don't let your coins sit there collecting dust. Dive in, start checking your pennies, and take a closer look at those 2020 Lincoln pennies. Who knows? Your next lucky find could be the start of a wealthy new chapter in your life. If you've enjoyed this journey into the world of rare coins, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We've got more tips, tricks, and real stories of people who've made a fortune from coins just like these. Stay tuned, because your journey to financial freedom might be just a penny away.